Join us as we explore an extraordinary moment in history, the return of the Temple Mount to Jewish control, a profound event that resonates deeply with biblical prophecy. This significant historical shift not only reaffirms the accuracy of ancient scriptures, but also sets the stage for the next prophesied milestone, the rapture of the church. As we inch closer to this divine event, it's crucial to recognize that the timing is governed by nothing less than the boundless grace and patience of God. One critical indicator looms on the horizon: the possible construction of a third temple in Israel. What current efforts are underway to prepare for this sacred structure? The momentum is building, with tangible strides being made toward erecting the third temple on the revered grounds of Jerusalem's Temple Mount. In today's in-depth video, we will uncover the details of the ongoing preparations for the third temple ceremony. To ensure you capture every facet of this prophetic journey, make sure to watch our complete analysis. Many hundred people participated in a full-dress recreation of the water libation as it was done in the temple in Jerusalem, led by Kohanim in priestly attire and directed by Levites playing musical instruments. The water libation ritual was well known during the Second Temple era, partly because of the linked ceremonial of the water drawing, which took place at night when the water was taken from Siloam for the following morning's water libation. A priest would fill a bowl drained into the temple court's bronze altar with water every day for 7 straight days by climbing a ramp to the altar. The ceremony was started at Shar Hashpat, the Dung Gate, in Jerusalem's Old City, when attendees gathered, Kohanim priests, wearing specially adorned robes as prescribed by Scripture, and Levites playing musical instruments. On drums, violin, guitar, and clarinet, the musically talented Levites led the ceremony as it descended old stairways into the valley below the Temple Mount, as they made their way from the ancient city of David's ruins via an Arab settlement and toward the Shalach Salem spring, which was used during the temple. The gathering chanted and danced. 4-foot-long pure silver trumpets punctuated stops in the procession. The occasion was presided over by the chief rabbi of Jerusalem, Rabbi Aryeh Stern, Rabbis Dov Lior, Shmuel Elihu, David Chai, HaKohen, Ram HaKohen, Menahem Bornstein, Uri Chaki, and other illustrious rabbis. The Temple Institute's founder, Rabbi Israel Ariel, was also present. The gold water jug was at the front of the procession. The jug was filled at the Shalat's pool. The procession ascended to the mountain summit once more. A mock altar and accessories had been set up in an open space next to the western wall. Large, lush willow branches were used to decorate the altar, just as they were in the temple. The priestly blessing served as the ritual's climax, followed by the once every 7 years Hakel ceremony. A small shrine and accessories were erected next to the western wall, after the pitcher was filled with water. Large, lush willow branches manufactured in Tem were used to decorate this shrine. Then they returned to speak of the mountain. The Torah no longer obligates them to carry out their actions. The oral legacy Moses left behind includes the water libation. The main event of this festival, which took place when the temple was still standing, was the release of water, and the Feast of Tabernacles is remembered as a joyous occasion. For them, this is a time of joy and celebration, since the ceremony would take place over 15 hours, and the festivities would continue far into the night, before the start of the morning services at the temple. On the final 6 days of the 7-day Sukkot holiday, a libation of water was made at the morning ceremony in the same manner as the libation of wine. From the temple, Kohanim descended to the Shalat spring at the foot of Mount Moriah, where they filled the flask with 3 logs, about 2 pints of spring water, before returning to the temple. Then 2 Kohanim went up to the stone altar at the temple's inner court and set 2 silver cups. Both liquids flowed into the holes of the altar that had been carefully created for this ceremony, as one Kohan poured water from the silver flask and a second Kohan poured wine simultaneously. When the third temple is constructed, the significance of the Shilat's pool, also known as Salam in English and Salwan in Arabic, will once again become clear. For those who made the yearly journey to Jerusalem for biblical feasts, the Pool of Salam served as their starting point. Before making the ascent to the inner court of the Temple Mount to present their sacrifices, they would ritually cleanse themselves by washing in the pool and then depart. The pool southeast of the old city of Jerusalem's walls receives water from the Gihon Spring via the Siloam Tunnel, also known as Hezekiah's Tunnel. The pool, also known as the Upper Pool and the Lower Pool in the Bible, was constructed during the reign of Hezekiah. 715 to 687 BCE reigned to replace an earlier Canaanite tunnel exposed to the attack. But sieging forces could not reach the spring's resources because of the new pool and tunnel. According to archaeologists, the waters continued to flow south during the Second Temple period and were gathered in an extra larger pool. The pool was found in the summer of 2004 and is still being used today. The year following Shemitah is fortunate for the coming of the Messiah. It should be remembered. The line from Amos is quoted in the Babylonian Talmud Strictate of Sanhedrin 97a and reads, "On that day I will raise the fallen booth, Sukkot of David." Amos 9:11, amid a prophecy concerning God bringing Israel back from exile among the nations. This verse is found. The Talmud states, "As it is said, on that day I will raise the tabernacle of David that has fallen." In the middle of accounts of the days leading up to the Messiah, the 7-year cycle, at the end of which the Son of David will appear in the first year, is what our rabbis stated would be fulfilled by this verse. Some weeks ago, on Rosh Hashanah, the Shemitah, sabbatical year, concluded, according to the Talmud, the Messiah will arrive in the first year following the Shemitah. It is essential to remember how thoroughly the Talmud describes the challenging years before the arrival of the Messiah. The culmination of the ceremony was the priestly blessing. The Hakal ritual was then concluded once every 7 years. The altar was adorned with large, luscious willow branches, as in the temple. There have been a lot of signs lately that the children of Israel want to build the third temple. Beginning stone cutting for the third temple, preparing ritual colors, making priestly clothing and vessels, and maintaining the third temple's infrastructure are all part of this phase. Organizations are also raising funds to help the third temple's building. You can only imagine how ecstatic the Jews of Israel are about all these advancements that will facilitate the construction of the third temple. The plans for the temple. For the past 4 years, according to Temple Institute spokesman Rabbi Chaim Richman, there have been precise drawings for the third temple. The Bible, Josephus, and Midat were the 3 basic sources from which the plans were to be created. These ancient criteria have been updated to reflect the usage of electricity and other contemporary advancements that are compliant with halakha, the law. In order for a temple to be rebuilt today, according to the rabbis of the temple movement, individuals who would enter the sacred space and carry out the holy duties must first be ritually clean. The only way to restore ceremonial cleanliness to all Jews who have become ceremonially unclean in the diaspora dispersion and build a functioning priesthood is through the ashes of the Red Sea. Even though the biblical texts are not always as precise as we would want, 3 biblical clues indicate the presence of a second temple. While the third is symbolic, the first 2 depict an actual temple. One of the reasons the Feast of Tabernacles is so important is because it's mentioned so frequently in the Bible to highlight other important occasions. Even though the building of the spiritual temple Paul spoke of is already in progress, and even though there will be a physical temple throughout the millennium, it is uncertain whether the Jews will construct another one before the return of Jesus Christ. The most significant use of our time and the most important thing we can do for ourselves is to participate in God's spiritual temple. After several years of research, a group of scientists have finally made groundbreaking findings under the Dome of Rock in Jerusalem. What did they find? And how could this change the course of history? Keep watching to find out. Built in 691 AD, it's the oldest extant Islamic building in the world. But its location makes the Dome of Rock even more intriguing. It's on the Temple Mount, considered a holy spot for Jews, Christians, and Muslims. The presence of this striking building serves as a visual reminder of the underlying unity among the Abrahamic religions, as well as their discord and rivalry. The Dome of Rock is more than just an architectural masterpiece. It's a testament to the power of faith and belief. Nestled within the Temple Mount complex alongside the Al-Aqsa Mosque, this iconic structure has captured people's imaginations from all corners of the globe for centuries. At the heart of the Dome of Rock lies a rock that's been revered as sacred since ancient times. Known as the foundation stone, it marks the peak of Mount Moriah, a site considered holy by numerous religions throughout history. In ancient Semitic tradition, it was believed that the rock was the mouth of the serpent Tahun and the intersection between the underworld and the upper world. It was also thought to be the point where the world's creation began. Jewish sources point to the rock where God tested Abraham, while Muslims believe it was where Ishmael was told to be sacrificed. King David is said to have offered a sacrifice on the rock and witnessed angels ascending a golden staircase into the sky in a dream. For Christians, the site is significant because it was where Jesus taught and prayed. Even during the Byzantine Empire, the location was highly regarded. Emperor Constantine I's mother built a small church on the spot, which later expanded and was called the Church of the Holy Wisdom. However, it's the significance of the rock to Muslims that gives the Dome of Rock its special aura. Islamic tradition holds that the Prophet Muhammad was carried from the sacred temple to the most remote temple, blessed with signs. It's believed that these two temples were the Kaaba in Mecca and the Jewish temple in Jerusalem, respectively. According to this tradition, Muhammad ascended to heaven from this very spot, making it an especially sacred place for Muslims. With its intricate and beautiful design, the Dome of the Rock has become an iconic symbol of religious devotion and faith. Whether viewed from afar or experienced up close, the structure evokes a sense of awe and wonder, serving as a testament to the power of belief and the enduring legacy of religious tradition. But for Muslims, the Dome of the Rock holds a special significance because it's believed to be the spot where Muhammad ascended to heaven. Muhammad was transported at night from the hollow temple to the remotest temple, whose precinct we have blessed, that we might show him our signs, according to Islamic tradition. The Jewish temple in Jerusalem and the Kaaba in Mecca are thought to be the two temples. So, where is this Dome of the Rock located? In 637 AD, the Islamic invasion of the Byzantine Empire led to the conquest of Jerusalem by the Rashid and Caliphate army. Upon his arrival, Caliph Umar asked the Patriarch to show him the place of the old Jewish temple, which was covered in rubbish, due to the Romans using it as a dung heap. As the Muslims saw Umar clearing the space with his hands, they instantly imitated him, and in no time the entire area had been cleaned up. The Dome of the Rock was completed between 685 AD and 691 AD by Abd al-Malik, possibly the most prominent Umayyad caliph. Interestingly, it was among the very first Islamic structures ever built. Abd al-Malik did not plan for the dome to be a mosque for open prayer, but rather a shrine for pilgrims. He wished it would protect the Muslims from the heat and cold. The two engineers, Ranja ibn al-Hayway and Yazid ibn Salam, were told to lavishly fund the construction. In his book of the geography, al-Maqdisi said that the dome was constructed with 7 times Egypt's annual revenue. Let's now discuss where it is. On the large open platform known as Haram al-Sharif, which also holds the Al-Aqsa Mosque, madrasas, and several other holy structures, is where the Dome of the Rock is situated. It is regarded as one of the holiest locations by Muslims, Jews, and Christians. The current position of the Temple Mount is thought to be the location of the second Jewish temple, which was obliterated during the Roman siege of Jerusalem in 70 AD. It is known to Jews as the Temple Mount and Muslims as the Haram al-Sharif, or Noble Sanctuary. Since we now know when and where it was built, let us explore the building itself. This stunning structure is shaped like a Byzantine martyrium, traditionally used to venerate saintly relics. But the Dome of Rock is much more than just a simple building. It is a true marvel of Middle Byzantine art that continues to capture the hearts and minds of people worldwide. At the heart of the Dome of Rock lies a wooden dome that spans an impressive 60 feet in diameter. This dome is supported by a raised drum of 16 piers and columns arranged in a circle. An octagonal arcade with 24 piers and columns surrounds this circular. The exterior walls of the building are equally impressive, with a porcelain finish that mirrors the stunning octagonal design. But the real showstopper of the Dome of Rock is the glittering exterior. Believe it or not, 100,000 gold dinar coins were melted down and cast onto the dome's surface, giving it an intense sparkle that's impossible to ignore. It's so bright and shiny that no eyes can look straight at it. You're immediately drawn to the exquisite dome overhead as you enter the magnificent building. The dome is adorned with intricate mosaics, faience, and marble, creating a mesmerizing and awe-inspiring sight. But that's only some of what catches your attention. As you gaze around, you notice inscriptions edged onto the walls, written in the eloquent and poetic language of classical Arabic. And one of these inscriptions stands out in particular, drawing you closer to read its message. It says, "O you people of the book, keep your religion within bounds and speak only the truth in the name of God. The Messiah, Jesus, Son of Mary, is nothing more than an apostle of God and his word, which he gave to Mary, as well as a spirit that proceeds from him. Believe in God and his apostles, and do not say three. That will be beneficial to you. There is only one God. It is far from his glory for him to have a son." You can feel their significance and weight as you take in the words. The inscription reminds all who enter this sacred place to uphold the principles of honesty, respect, and unity in faith. And as you continue to explore the interior of the building, you discover more inscriptions, each a testament to the beauty and wisdom of Islamic teachings. Surah Yasin, one of the most beloved and oft-recited chapters of the Quran, is inscribed in bold letters across the top of the tilework, reminding visitors of the power and majesty of Allah. But the message continues. Above the Yasin inscription is another from the chapter Al-Isra that says, "Glory to him who carried his servant throughout the night from the holy mosque to the furthest mosque, the grounds of which we have blessed, so that we could show him some of our miracles." In reality, he is both the hearing and the seeing. These inscriptions are a powerful testament to the depth and richness of Islamic culture and spirituality, and they offer a powerful reminder to all who enter this sacred space of the enduring importance of faith, humility, and reverence for the divine. Let us talk about some mysteries of the Dome of the Rock and the recent findings. At the heart of this iconic building sits a large rock shrouded in mystery and ancient legends. It is believed that this rock is where Abraham prepared to sacrifice his son Isaac. And if that is not impressive enough, Muslims also believe that this rock commemorates the night journey of the Prophet Muhammad. Talk about a rock with a lot of history. The rock is enclosed by two ambulatories with an octagonal exterior wall that gives the building its distinct shape. The central colonnade, 4 piers and 12 columns, support a huge 2-layered dome measuring over 20 meters in diameter. But its historical significance makes the Dome of the Rock even more mysterious. It stands at the intersection of 3 major monotheistic faiths, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Its location and symbolism make it a deeply important site for people of all religions. And if that is not enough, the Dome of the Rock also has a fascinating political history. Its circular shape and dome were inspired by the imperial mausoleum of Roman emperors like Augustus and Hadrian, and the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. The size of the dome was deliberately designed to be almost identical to that of the Church of the Holy Sepulchre as a way for Muslims to proclaim the superiority of their newly formed faith over Christianity. Talk about a little friendly rivalry. So, what is this latest discovery that got scientists shocked? Israeli scholars are in an uproar over a recent discovery at the Dome of the Rock that could hold the key to one of the most endearing mysteries of all time, the location of the Lost Ark. This incredible discovery occurred when the old Dome of the Rock carpet was lifted, revealing previously undocumented ancient floor designs. These cryptic geometric patterns have captivated researchers and enthusiasts alike, as they hold the potential to solve the Indiana Jones-style mystery that's fascinated people for centuries. Can you imagine the excitement that must have been felt by the researchers who first laid eyes on these designs? It's like finding a treasure map right beneath your feet. Sadly, the scholars only got to document the designs after workers began laying new carpets over them, paid for by King Abdullah II of Jordan. To make matters worse, there are fears that the glue used may permanently damage the ancient floor. As you can imagine, this discovery has caused quite a stir, with a war of words breaking out between the Muslim and Israeli archaeological authorities. Israel's housing minister has even urged an immediate halt of the work, highlighting how important the site is and how any modifications could cause irreparable harm. But the Muslim authority remains defiant, claiming that the work is long overdue and that they put down carpet and felt. They deny that the work will cause any damage to the ancient floor designs. So, the debate rages on. It's hard not to get caught up in the excitement of this discovery. The Dome of the Rock has long been a site of great cultural and religious significance, and this discovery only adds to its mystique. Who knows what other secrets lie hidden beneath its floors? As the debate continues, one thing is for sure. This discovery has reignited the curiosity and passion of people worldwide for the lost Ark and the history it represents. We can't wait to see what other exciting discoveries may lie ahead. In conclusion, the architecture, history, and mystery surrounding the Dome of the Rock continue to make it a lookout for researchers, a hub for pilgrims, and a striking sight in the Jerusalem skyline. Would we know more about the secrets the Dome of the Rock hides beneath its carpet? If you enjoyed this video, like it, share it with friends, and subscribe for more.